I asked him the questions that I just presented to you. Plus, what does he think the FDA should do? Many of us who went to donate in college or something like that were told you cannot donate. I had that experience, and it was eye-opening to me, and I know it's changed over the years. What's your best case for not having a 12-month wait period?
Well, here's the thing. There's other countries that don't have 12-month wait periods that have no problem of HIV being transmitted through blood transfusions. Countries like Spain and Italy have what they call test and assess policies, where they test the blood when it's donated for HIV and a whole host of other diseases, and they ask pointed questions like, are you in a committed relationship? Do you practice safe sex? Do you inject recreational drugs? And those go a lot further in assessing the risk of the blood than just an outright ban arbitrarily on men who have sex with men.
On one hand, you never want to see one group of people unfairly targeted or excluded. And as you say, maybe a change could help save 1 million lives. Yet, many of us remember the nightmare cases of blood getting through in the 80s and things like that. And it meant the end of some people's lives. That's serious. And we also know that men who have sex with men are disproportionately likely to contract and transmit HIV. So when I read that, I think 12 months, that's responsible.
And it may sound that way, and a lot of countries do that. We do. Canada does. Australia has an outright ban still on men who have sex with men, not just the 12-month ban that we have here in the US. But the thing is, the testing is so much more advanced nowadays at detecting these diseases, and we're better at preventing the diseases than we were in the 80s and 90s.
I've had HIV tests done with my blood, as I think any responsible person should, in the community. And they will tell you it is not common, but it can take 3 to 6 months sometimes to show up in blood. I don't know about you, but if I'm the recipient of blood, I don't want to take a chance on 3 to 6 months it didn't show up and say, well, most of the time it shows up within like 3 weeks, so it's okay. I mean, it makes sense to wait.
And I mean, that's a fair concern, but then how does the FDA justify that a heterosexual man who maybe has sex with multiple partners, doesn't practice safe sex, that person can donate if they pass the height and weight requirements and all these sorts of things, whereas a committed monogamous homosexual man who practices safe sex with his partner can't.
So do you think that would make the case then for restricting promiscuous straight men from donation rather than allowing, a dissolution of this 12-month wait period?
I think you could possibly go that route, but I think a smarter route would be to maybe wait longer before actually using the blood. Currently, the FDA, most of the blood that's donated gets used within 30 days of the donation.
Okay.
As the concern you mentioned earlier, what if it takes 3 to 4 months for this result to show up? I think if you ask these risk assessment questions that they ask in Italy and Spain, maybe those people you hold off on giving that blood immediately. That way you have time for maybe that later HIV result to show up and say, maybe this blood isn't safe to donate.
It used to be a lifetime ban here in the US, and then now it's 12 months. Will it change? I don't know. You can tell there's a lot to think about.